As it stands today, about 10 trillion already given out in stimulus. A lot of that is reflected into me about 3 to 4,000 Dow points. So that's why I think the Dow is overpriced here. But out of that 10 trillion, what I can tell you is 30 million small businesses in America, 1.7 million businesses have received PPP assistance. So there's 28 million some odd companies out there that still haven't got a nickel. And to break down Nancy Pelosi's new proposal to dole out another $3 trillion, John Burnett and David Eisenbach join me again. Guys, part of some of this $3 trillion here, from what I understand, is to give states aid to give money to illegal immigrants. Could that be possible?
Part of it is also to conduct a study to figure out how to encourage more minorities, women to own marijuana businesses. So This is it's covered in pork. The only reason why we have this bill is because Democrats like me were yelling about how Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer totally sold out working Americans and small businesses. And what they've come up with is a bill that will never get passed.
Johnny, it sure seems like they threw this out on purpose because they know the Republicans will never, pass it. And then they're going to sit there screaming and yelling how the Republicans don't want to help the little man.
It's 2020, but the Democrats have lost their vision. The thing is that, instead of focusing on the working class, focusing on bolstering our testing capabilities, they actually came together as a caucus with everyone bringing their wish list like it's Christmas, and they aggregated everything, and we can't come out with $3 trillion. I looked at this, John, David, only $75 billion for coronavirus testing. I thought they were so concerned about everyone getting a test. Billions of dollars going to the post office. When you look at they actually reserved $10 billion for underserved businesses and nonprofits, right? But we've seen through the previous packages, John, that there's no focus on execution. How the money is actually going to get to the small business owner and to individuals that have been impacted. So we can pass bills all day long.
Yep.
But the money is not getting where it needs to go.
The problem with this is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have no vision. They don't care about the small businesses. They don't care about working Americans. What they care about,
Nancy Pelosi has double vision. She has blurred vision.
They care about what Mitch McConnell cares about, which is pleasing their big donors who get the billion-dollar bailouts, the big banks, the big corporations, whatever they want, no accountability. But if you're a small business and you apply for some PPP, they're going to do a roto-rooter through your small intestine, and then they're going to deny you, which is what we have seen over and over and over again. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, if they wanted to get all these things, they should have put it in the first bill, but they didn't. They didn't care about that. All they wanted to do was bail out their big.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He's agreeing with us too much today.
I've been screaming about Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer for years.
But John and David, here's the thing, right? So you have Chuck and Nancy doing that. Then you have the state governors, right, who are Democrats, with these restrictions, right, where it's damning to small businesses. Meanwhile, Walmart, Target, and Costco, the big companies, are racking up. But if I want to sell toilet paper and some other household goods in my small business, I can't open.
That's right.
And so it's absolutely
damning to small business.
That's right. To me is absolutely crazy. I had Stephen Moore on a few weeks ago, and I ran this by him. But David, we should probably all agree on this one. But they keep threatening to do some kind of payroll tax holiday, and what I had suggested was almost if you don't want to get a roto-rooter up your lower intestine, right? Here's an easy way to do it, and the government has the whole apparatus, okay? The president can order, without congressional help, he can order the Secretary of the Treasury to not collect payroll taxes. So that means everyone gets 7% more in their paycheck, and the employer who usually has to match that 7 and make a deposit, he doesn't have to. So he's got an extra 7% in his pocket, and everybody else's paycheck goes up 7%. Now, what I proposed to Stephen Moore in lieu of trying to do all this underwriting was take people's balance, whatever they paid last year in payroll tax deposits, whatever they paid, give them half that money back. So boom, last year you paid $280,000. We're giving you a rebate, $140, and the business owner now has $140,000 of working capital, and he also got a 7% in his operating capital, and his employee has a 7% raise in his paycheck. So that can be done in the flip of a switch. And I don't know why they don't see that. You don't need any middlemen. You don't need banks. You don't need underwriting.
What did Stephen say about that?
He said that he doesn't like giving away free money. So it's a little
unless it's to a bank or a major corporation.
Well, how about the first part of that in terms of
he liked the first
President
part.
Trump
He liked the first part. He didn't like.
Oh, we should do that.
I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, why don't you write an op-ed on it for Newsmax? You could steal the idea from me. I don't care.
It just crossed my mind. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because the thing is that, I saw a couple of news stories, John, that, small businesses that were able to get, that 8-week or whatever it was
PPP.
in terms of cash flow, they're reluctant to spend it, right? Why? Because the thing is that there's so many restrictions at the city and state level, right?
Yeah.
That could hamper their business. Imagine if they got a payroll tax exclusion.
No doubt about it. All right, guys, I got to leave it there. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for a liquid lunch. Hopefully soon back in the studio. And we will all still revel in our misery as Met fans. But thanks for making our day a little brighter, guys. John Burnett, David Eisenbach, they join us every week. Just like you join us every day, most of you. I appreciate that. And we're going to take a quick break right here. We're going to do a little changeover. Back after this.